sense of unworthiness. In a religious context, humility can mean a recognition of self in relation to God and freedom from pride and arrogance. So I went with that one, the recognition of self in relation to God with freedom of pride and arrogance. What is pride and arrogance? It's the ego. So let's review. According to A Course in Miracles, of your ego, you can do nothing to save yourself or others, but of your spirit, you can do everything for the salvation of both. Humility is a lesson for the ego, not for the spirit. Spirit is beyond humility because it recognizes its radiance and gladly sheds its light everywhere. The meek shall inherit the earth because their egos are humble, and this gives them truer perception. So the ego is a product of the human existence our spirit is having. Once we shed it, the radiance of God is there. So we'll state that the ego in this context is the battle of the self. Next on my list was empathy. Empathy is the ability to share the feelings of another. Now we're going to go outside ourselves and have empathy for others. Yesterday was a day of remembrance and empathy. Each one of us has lost a loved one, but few of us have lost someone in such a tragic manner. We go outside ourselves to empathize in releasing of the ego. Today, I'm winding up the trilogy on humility with going forward in our lives, using our experience, our knowledge, and spirit to bring it all together. And what brings it all together? All together now. Love. All together now. As I stated before, humility is defined as less than, as a weakness. But it is so much more. More insight, more inner strength, and more self-love, and love for others. Have you ever met anyone that really, truly knew and believed in humility? In that presence, are you calmer? Do you know they are truly listening to you? That you are accepted for exactly who you are? That they see you and are not judging you? These people have their own strength and understanding of their own limitations. It's a self-acceptance that emerges from grounding one's worth in love as a spiritual being having a connection to God. As Vicky Zarkowski states in her article, how humility will make you the greatest person ever, people with humility see life as a school, recognizing that while none of us are perfect, we can, without negativity, impact our self-esteem, work on our limitations of being open to new ideas, advice, and criticism. This cultivates inner strength and a capacity for a greater love. Consider what researchers of the quiet ego, that is a construct similar to humility, suggest happens when we gain control of our ego. We become less likely to act aggressively, manipulate others, express dishonesty, and destroy resources. Instead, with humility, we take responsibility for and correct our mistakes, listen to others' ideas, and keep our abilities in humble perspective. Humble perspective. In Jim Collins' author, Good is Great, he describes great leaders as those who have extreme personal humility, intense professional or spiritual will, shunning the spotlight of celebrity, channeling ambition towards a greater goal, setting up others for success, constantly and diligently be honest. In essence, great leaders leave their ego in the door. More scholarly research suggests that the lovely quality is good for us individually and for our relationships. For example, being humble, people handle stress more effectively and report higher levels of physical and mental well-being. They also show greater generosity and helpfulness and gratitude, all the things that can only serve to draw us closer to others with that perfect love. That sounds so wonderful. But this is about humility and love. Let's talk about love. The Urban Dictionary defines love, I'm channeling David here, as the act of caring and giving to someone else, having someone's best interest and well-being as a priority in your life. To truly love is a very selfless act. And what I like is love can be a noun, as in an intense feeling or affection. All you need is love. Love can be a verb, as in a deep affection for. I love ice cream. Love can be an adjective, as in a feeling of showing love. She lovingly gazed at her ice cream. My husband. Ancient Greek philosophers identified 6 forms of love: familiar love, friendly or platonic love, romantic love, self-love, guest love, and divine love. Modern authors went beyond that. They've expanded it to unrequited love, empty love, companionate love, consummate love, infatuated love, and courtly love. Whew, that's a lot. Let's go on from there. I believe that there is no humility without true love. Love of the self, our being, our connection to God, empathy, and letting go of ego. In other words, unconditional love. Loving Yourself Like Your Life Depends on It is a book by Kamala Ravenka. You need to let go of all the rusty old armor you do not need anymore. Instead, let your light of love shine through from within. You need to know you're lovable. Everybody is lovable. You do not need to shout it out to the world, and you don't need to prove it. You need to just stand in it. You matter. Many times humility means to put others first, but to me the secret is you need to know how to feel okay about yourself first. And we all work on that journey. Remember the pre-flight instructions? In case of emergency, the oxygen mask drops from above. Put yours on first and help someone else. That goes about love. Further, fear strengthens ego. Love softens it. it becomes more open and vulnerable. It's natural to be gentle with others, even when they weren't lovingly towards me. There's a strength that comes with revelations that you are lovable. And better yet, you can pay it forward with powerful relationships. To know yourself, warts and all, you have self-compassion for yourself. It takes a lot of coaching, therapy, and learning to figure this out. At least on my part it has. And I'm still a student. We have choices to love or to fear. How about you? What are you choosing? Are you choosing to empower your humility and other strengths of who you want to be? Are you ditching the ego and all the old negative scripts that you have woven that are no longer serving you? Are you allowing yourself to know how truly wonderful you are? Can you pay it forward with your wholeness and service? Are you learning to be more open to communicate with others? Catherine Britton, in her esteemed book, Character Strengths Matter, originates the Jane Price Tangi's Qualities of Humility. It's an accurate assessment of oneself, including both strengths and weaknesses, neither favorable nor unfavorable. It's an openness to new information, including ideas that contradict former opinions, an ability to keep one's own pace in the world, in their perspective. And humble people are less inclined than the normal population to self-serving basis, an ability to forget oneself, to move out of the middle of the frame. I think we're talking about balance. Balance of self, balance with others, and balance with God. There's also the question, where does humility come from? Catherine Britton says it stems from a sense of security grounded on feelings of self-worth that comes from stable and reliable sources, such as unconditional gut love. There we go again, unconditional love. To me, that's the ultimate love, the be-all and end-all of pure love. We are unconditionally loved by God. And that is the truly humble people. Who wouldn't want a life foundation like that? I would. Our journeys are towards that. She also talks about how to foster and build your unconditional love and learn a base of humility. You soul search. You make sure you're not looking through your ego. I needed empathy because I was looking through my ego this past week, and I stumbled and fell spiritually, but I picked myself up in humility and stopped, and it was a better, joyous time. I listened to others, I asked for help, and I got it, and I gave credit where credit was due. I admitted my limitations, and I showed up to the best of my ability. And I practiced gratitude. I'm paying attention more to positive role models and being one. As most all of you know, I nanny, and that means that I have to show these children the way that they should be and how we can connect with God. And above all, I forgive myself and I seek forgiveness every day. I practice open-mindedness, and I know that thinking humility means love. We also have to ditch the ego and the old negative scripts. Oh, I already read that. Okay. And finally, Hebrew proverb says that the fruits of humility are love and peace. Once you have unconditional love, there is peace. May you all find peace. Amen and thank you.